This is the third part of 100 days of survival on a ship, surrounded by the infected ocean. In order to survive, I will start building my own liner. The infection conquers the world, immense in darkness. We will meet face to face with the Kraken, traveling across the borderless ocean to finish the giant liner and explore the sunken city, where streets are flooded with dangerous monsters. So, subscribe and like this video. We are getting started. Let's get 50,000 likes under this video. At the end of the previous episode, I landed on the island in search of an ancient civilization. The infection covered everything in red. Trying to prevent further spread of the infection, I was struck by lightning in one of the buildings. As a result, I died. What? But how? My disappointment at the end of my survival was for nothing, because in a few seconds I saw an inscription. Teleport? It was not like what you usually see when you die in hardcore, and as it turned out, I didn't die at all, but ended up at the very heart of the island, and I had no idea how to get out of there. I had a huge amount of plans. I wanted to take my boat, Bathy's Cave, and go on my favorite island. Moreover, in this episode, an insane project waits us to build it. But first, let's find a way out of here. I have nothing to say. What the hell is going on here? Where am I? My stuff is all gone. The first person I met was Innkeeper Joe. It was even possible to talk to him. Greetings, O lost soul. What wind brought you down here? Tell me your name. My name is Zeman, and only one thing I want to know is what's going on down here. Nice to meet you, Zeman. Let me tell you what happened here. The island called for us for salvation from the infection, and when you returned the amulet to its place, you thereby agreed to help. And now you're in the heart of the island, and the only way out of here is to defeat the infection that has settled in the core of the island. But this can only be done with a cleansing sword, which we'll have to find in the depths of the heart. So that is what you call the core of the island. I see. We somehow need to figure out a way to defeat it. While I was trying to get out of the island, the 50th day arrived, and this meant that the infection had spread across the ocean even more. All the islands began to gradually become infected. Even our base island was corrupted. Monsters began to appear of huge size, while the spawn rate of krakens increased tenfold. And now it was simply impossible to sail across the sea without meeting them. Fighting with dozens of krakens in the endless ocean will 100% lead to the end of our survival. But while I was under the island, I had no idea about that. Later, I realized how quickly this level of the infection could end our game. In the meantime, I continued to explore the location. You'll never guess who I found. Remember how in the last episode we found notes about Captain Sparrow? He was here, alive and well, in all his glory. I even talked to him. This is the same captain whose notes we saw in the last episode. He told me about a sword. If I can find it, I can strike the core with lightning and reduce the level of the infection. And then finally get out of here. Here is the sword, I guess. Okay, I feel like we need to do some parkour. Finally getting to the sword and using it. Lightning Lord, whoa. I was teleported back to the island. Luckily for me, the infection rate has dropped significantly, but it still left a lot to be desired. Okay guys, look around. Of course, the infection exists. How can we play without it? But the redness is all gone, and it feels like we can continue to survive. Yeah, of course, the water also remains green, and it is clear that it will become even greener in the future. But wait, why is there some kind of ship over there? I'm pretty sure that there wasn't any ship before. The map update brought a lot of new features, which you will learn about throughout the course of the video. Is that a shark? We have to be very careful. Captain Sparrow? Captain Sparrow thanked me for my help and told me about the fishermen that I can meet in the ocean. The whole speech was about the generations of dungeons, the so-called fishermen's shops, which will appear on our map and with whom we can bargain. Moreover, there is a 4% chance that we'll be able to find plot notes which will help us continue the story and find out where the infection came from. Some sharks are still attacking me for some reason. Okay, where's my Bathy's Cave? Yes, great, let's get out of here right now. My first idea is to drag it home. Yeah, the yacht mod has a cable with which you can tie other vehicles to it, which is what I actually wanted to do. What a giant lap I had to do to get to my yacht. So guys, everything is stuffed, and I think that we need to hitch our, if you can say, Bathy's Cave to our yacht and sail away from here. That's all. It's easy guys, just hitch it up and go. Now we have a Bathy's Cave and we'll take it home. Let's go! I got to my island without any problems, but I wasn't ready to see what happened. Due to the fact that in recent days the infection was quite strong, the island turned out to be slightly infected. So the next day I immediately began to remove the infected blocks and try to restore the appearance of the island. Am I shocked? Of course! I just went for a few days and look what happened here. I'm afraid to imagine what would have happened if the infection had gone even further. My whole green island would turn into a waste dump. I don't even have a slight idea what to do, so we'll just continue to remove these infected blocks. The next day, the island has already begun to regreen. After unloading the yacht and sorting my things, I decided to go on an expedition in order to find new dungeons or those that I I had not noticed before. Onward to new adventures. I would like to find some interesting dungeons. By the way, you can also find those fishermen that Captain Sparrow told us about. Let's see what we can find today. There, I see something. It's not like the pebbles that float around us. Okay, here's something interesting. Let's stop the ship a little further. A kraken or even a megalodon may be waiting for us there. It turned out that these were the remains of some huge sea creature, and there were even monsters on it. It is not yet clear what it is, but perhaps these are the remains of some huge shark. Let's go check. I got closer, and now I see these cockroaches. More like some kind of a weird crocodiles? Either amphibians or crocodiles or some kind of SpongeBobs. This makes no sense. Despite their advantage in numbers and intimidating appearance, I got rid of them pretty quickly. Well, okay, I thought it would be difficult. Underwater, I realized that these were not just remains. This is a whole skeleton of an unknown giant monster. The good news is, first of all, iron ore, which is scarce in this survival. And here, I'm afraid to find out what it is. It seemed to be his head, guys. It really looks like his head. Look, he has diamonds instead of teeth. So this is a good find. Another piece of iron? Okay. Ooh, chest. Why is it empty? Here is another box. Well, let's see what's in there. A book and an infected drop. This is interesting. There are rumors that somewhere there are fishermen selling magical items that can be used to turn any building into a ship. I wonder if this is true. This is the most interesting thing I have found all day. Let's keep going. Continuing to explore the location, I found more gold and a couple of boxes with a screwdriver and some kind of cat mask. Tell me, I look so much better. It suits me, doesn't it? It was getting late, so I decided to go home. Most of all, I wanted to understand what was said back then. What is the thing that the fishermen sell that can turn your building into a ship? I definitely needed to go find them. The next day, I began harvesting the farm. Have you ever seen a Nyan cat harvesting wheat? I didn't see either. After that, I went back to the ocean. My task for today was to still find those fishermen. As I understand, they spawn constantly, and you won't believe it. I found him. Look what I found. I think this is similar to what I was looking for. There's a person in there, most likely a fisherman. Merchant. Look, sea merchant. By the way, he spawned not that far away from our starting location. Look. So, what can you tell me? He has a small assortment, but look what he has. Some weird blocks. I haven't seen these before. Some manuscript and a note. Well, it's obvious that we need to look for those fairy drops. Let's go. The following days were very eventful. In a few days, I managed to find a lot of loot and a huge number of dungeons which contained a lot of items, as well as currencies in the form of infected drops, which we will need for our trade. Look, there are signs on some kind of pebble, and next to it is a strange transparent ship. I didn't know yet that there was a minefield under me, and around a cemetery of forgotten ships. There really is a lot of ships here. Chest. Great! Oh wow! Look, what is this? If we knew what it is, we don't know what it is. What is it? It was super interesting to explore these transparent ships. When I got closer, I didn't see any monsters, which allowed me to safely climb aboard. Who would have thought I'm inside a ghost ship? Oh, I can't believe it, Big Nose. And who locked you in here? How much loot do you have here? Look, I just don't believe it. What? How many diamonds are there? 10 diamonds in one barrel? Ooh, there's a bell. I can ring it. At the top, there was the last chest. We just had an impossible amount of loot. I didn't stop there and went on scouting the nearest ships. We need to go out more often and look for them. On the 55th day, I found an island with houses, and you have no idea how much more loot was in there. More than ever in this survival. We have a new location, guys. I don't know what it is yet, but there's definitely buildings on this island. Let's go! Take it easy, I said easy, and here we are. Having successfully parked, I began to look for all sorts of interesting things. I didn't find any quest or any plot notes, but there were definitely plenty of resources, especially guns. You have no idea how much I love this survival. It would seem like an endless ocean and nothing around. But look how many cool locations we have already found, and how many more will be ahead. Awesome survival, one of my favorites. I love it when I find so many meds and such a cool looking helmet. I also found crates that drop meds, ammo, and cannons. And of course, I was able to find those infected drops. Now this is what I call loot. Bearing in mind that the ocean is likely to become so infected soon that there will be only monsters around. I think that this island was found in time. The evening came. On the next 56th and 57th day, I still explored a huge number of small locations. This allowed me to collect so many drops that I went to the merchants and was going to buy almost everything they had. Hooray, friends! We finally came to spend our infected drops. Let's let's see what they can offer to us. So, well, I'll buy this note first. Okay, let's go. This note is a hint. You can buy items and use them to create your own buildings, which will be made of blocks that will float. This will allow you to travel long distances. Good luck, Zeman. Everything seems to match. That's exactly what we were told at the beginning of the episode, remember? And so, as I understand it, we need these blocks. Let's buy another manuscript. There's coordinates on the manuscript. That's very strange because these coordinates are the same as those of my island. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, good. So it turns out we can buy these items here. Congrats to us. We spent all our money, but we bought all the items he had. There seems to be nothing left. We can find other merchants and maybe they'll have something different because this random generation looks set up. Okay, it's already evening. We need to get home as soon as possible. Morning of the 59th day. The weather had been calm since morning. I even improved the farm a little and made the second floor. The water is infected. The wheat will be radioactive. I sorted through all the resources that I found in my travels. The coordinates on the manuscript that we bought pointed exactly to my island. I decided to dig a little to this point and found a chest there. What? And there was a note in the chest. Lost time machine. This is your chance to survive. Once upon a time, there was no infection at all. If you can find the reason why it started, you can lower the infection. The time machine is lost in the sunken city. And the city is 15,000 blocks away? Are you kidding me? Asking my team here, why is everything so difficult? That's when I realized that the time had come. It's time to build the biggest project of the survival. The construction of my own liner. A ship that will have everything you want. I'll make my own farm there, some warehouses, even some bedrooms. And most importantly, with the help of the blocks that we bought from the merchants, we'll be able to revive it and make it completely floating. But on the 60th day, my plans were interrupted by an increase in the level of the infection. New monsters began to appear, which perhaps sometimes even look like bosses. And most importantly, my island began to get infected. At the moment, I already understood the inevitability of my situation. The liner had to be built as quickly as possible. What is this? God, it's day 60. I now understand what is happening. Wow, there's a huge flower there, look. My God, what kind of monster is this? More and more are coming. Carefully. So, third chainsaw work. 4 HP. So, okay, they can't get into the house yet. It's good. There's another one. Take a look. And another one is running here. We took care of the flower. Excellent. There are still these mutants left. 3.5 HP. These are still running at me. Look, how many of them are spawning here? When will these stop spawning? This flower is running at me. Reload. In this survival, it was the biggest invasion of mutants, especially on our base, but we coped with it. On the morning of the 61st day, I have finally begun to build the frame of our liner. It was difficult to decide on the size. If we make it too big, we will never finish it, and if we make it too small, then there won't be much use for it. I also dug a lot of resources that day, ranging from cobblestone to wood, which I had just mined on our starting location, where I had the tree farm. At the end of our first day of construction, I got something like this. And so, here is the nose of our ship. I thought it'd be cool to make just a dumb little face so that all these mutants and monsters are afraid of us and our liner. Well, actually, that's all. Today, I was extracting a lot of resources, so I didn't have time to do a lot. So, it looks like this. On the 62nd day, I continued to build my liner. First of all, I prepared new blocks and began to build walls. You just can't imagine what a huge amount of resources, time, and nerves it takes to do it all correctly, especially when cockroaches get in the way. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. When I woke up on the morning of the 63rd day, I noticed the following. The island was already more than 15% infected, and all my crops stopped growing. Look at how the dirt blocks are changing. We've run out of wheat on the farm. Something grew there, and now there is nothing else. I wonder what will happen when everything in this world becomes infected. To be honest, I don't want to check. Also, new monsters on the island began to spawn more often. I checked the farm. Still, wheat can be grown. Just with some chance it may disappear. The construction of the ship did not stop for a second. I knew I need to hurry, so I sped up. On the 64th day, a complete picture began to form. I added green areas and borders. Also, you can notice the side of the farm where I'll try to grow all sorts of crops. Okay, I'm very tired of building this ship, but I can already show you something. Here, I want to make my ordinary house. Yes, the house right on the liner. From above, we'll have such a terrace. Maybe I'll make a farm later here, but for now, I just like the plants. The feed, you could see what we have in the distance. And yes, there's my yacht. I probably should have brought her here. Here we will definitely have a farm, perhaps even several tiers, and on the other side as well. And if we go down here, then here we have a huge room for swimming pools, warehouses, concert halls, and everything you want to imagine. But we'll probably furnish it later. On the 65th day, I decided to go after my yacht and at the same time swim a little around the area. I stumbled upon a fortress on the water, which I had never seen before. Right on the course, guys. We have an unknown fortress. I noticed it and decided to go home to pick up guns for myself, just in case. Because something seems to me that I won't get there just like that. Nice, we managed to park. Ouch, who's shooting at me? What are these, some bandits here? I see it looks like we attacked a bandit camp. Good evening, how are you doing? I have to be careful because they do quite decent damage. There are a lot of them here, I must say. I came in peace then. Oh no, those pesky minotaurs. What the hell did you forget here? Reload. Wow, yes. So there's a lot of you here. A lot. We need to survive another 100 days, guys. So these boxes unfortunately do not open. But the only thing is, there are watermelons. Look, and pumpkins. Let's take them carefully. You know, it's hard to grow food these days. I regularly lose my wheat crops. So what do we have here? Let's be careful. Sir Pancake? Who are you? No, I of course meant different things in my survival, but Sir Pancake is of course amazing. So can you at least talk to him?
Hi Zeman, I am Sir Pancake, your new friend. Help me get out of here. You need to find the key. Do it quick.
Okay. Maybe we can find the key on one of those floors. Look at the apocalyptic world. It seems so beautiful, but I understand that the infection will become even stronger. Ooh, chest. Save Sir Pancake. Book and quill. I am Sir Pancake, a cookie that has gained intelligence. Well, it's still very hard to figure out who we found, but we got the key, so let's go release him or something.
What took you so long, dude?
Okay, nice to meet you.
If subscribers want to see me again in your survival, I will appear.
And good luck to you in your survival.
Take some cookies.
What? 5 stacks of cookies? Now let's survive on cookies. There seems to be nothing more interesting here. On the 66th day, I was finishing my liner, but in the evening and throughout the night I carried things, since my island was already almost completely infected. As you can see, my liner is ready. He looks just great. Of course, we're still going to finish it. Come on, I'll show you what we actually have there. Actually, I completed such a house right on my liner. The house is empty, but I have 16 huge chests. They fit all my things, and there's still room for more. There's a ladder here that takes us up to the beds where we can sleep, even while the liner is sailing. Well, and most importantly, so far kinda schematically made, a staircase that leads us up to the place from where we can control this boat. We'll put the passenger seat and steering wheel like this. We open the menu, press this key. Incredible! Our liner consists of 2,633 blocks. And after that, press the mount ship button. As you guys can see, we can swim! At the very beginning of survival, we were on a raft. Then we moved on to a small boat. Later, we found a yacht and even a bathy's cave. And now, we have built a huge liner on our own, on which in the future, we can put everything we want. It's time to leave the island. It became more and more infected, and the coordinates of the next place where I had to move were very far away, and such a distance could not be overcome on a small yacht. With the help of a special item, I collected the yacht and the bathy's cave into my inventory, and boarding my giant liner, saying goodbye to the island, I set off. Now guys, we have a huge liner, which from now on is our home. I think this survival can be divided into 2 parts. What was before this moment and after. We set off from our home on a huge journey, which contains a huge number of dangers and secrets, and no one knows what the next day will bring. The adventure started right away. At night, I heard a huge amount of krakens, and I really didn't want to face them. Okay, I don't like this at all. Can you hear it? This is actually some kind of madness. If a kraken touches my ship, I'll most likely get hurt. I don't even see him. It was very stressful, but everything seemed to work out, practically. What can I say, guys? It's morning, and I noticed this here. For you to understand, it seems that the kraken can break our building. So right now, I'll fix it. To be honest, I wouldn't really want to meet him face to face. But as they say, I had to. On the 69th day, I had to face the kraken. As my team told me, ordinary guns do not work against them, and I had to craft some unique ones. Underwater, it was hard enough to see anything, so I recorded everything from the side. In general, I can say that the battle was difficult, but I was able to defeat him surprisingly quickly. The battle with the kraken was difficult, but
but we need to go further. Tomorrow, we must reach the desired coordinates.
On day 70, I got to the point and decided to launch the yacht. Cause if there's some kind of danger and it completely destroys my liner with all of our resources, then survival will most likely end. What was strange was that on day 70, nothing visually changed. The sky remained the same color and the ocean too. On the same day on my small yacht, I got to a specific point. What I found will shock you.
As a result, friends, I arrived at these coordinates and there is such a spire. I've basically gathered all the bare minimum resources that I might need. So let's jump into the Bathyscape right now and see what's in there. My god, this is something huge. Is this an underwater city or something? Let's get to the chest. So here's some night vision potions. I still find it difficult to understand, but it seems that there's an underwater city. Okay, let's slowly go down. The deeper we go down, the darker everything's gonna be. So let's drink night vision potions. Oh, it looks much better now.
Just think about how big this map is. I don't know if I can get around everything here in 100 days, especially an underwater city.
Okay guys, I'm being attacked by a monster. Some very creepy monster. Never mind, take a look. Guys, this is kinda creepy. Look, there's lots of them, and he almost killed me.
Obviously, at this depth of the infected ocean, the monsters were much more ferocious, and there were species that I had never met before. On the 71st day, I continued to explore the city, and there were the first steps. I saw a door, and apparently it was possible to go in there.
Okay, so for now, I left my Bathyscape here, and I'll go in this door. So, I wanna see what's in here. That's all we need to break for now, as quickly as possible. Look, this is some kind of room. Okay, there must be some useful loot here. So, there's some parkour going on here. Boxes. Boxes are good. I would like to find some notes, to be honest, to understand what's happening here. There's many buildings here. Perhaps I'll look for this for a very long time. Ooh, a note! Hell, the details for invention haven't arrived yet. Apparently, the infection has already reached the suppliers. But I don't understand how the infection got so far. If these parts are not inserted into the installation, then there's no way we can stop the infection. So, the information of course is interesting. I just don't understand what to do with it. Perhaps the invention is a time machine, which was mentioned previously. Maybe this is a time machine. I don't know. We still have a whole city to explore. Let's go. Look, I've never seen such a fish before. Oh, she wants to attack me. It's really going to attack. Wow, this is some kind of underwater snake.
There were many skyscrapers in the city, and at the top of one of them, I noticed some kind of botanical garden. It was definitely worth a visit.
So look, I see some kind of box here. We definitely need to go in here. Yes, a note. The time machine is here. You will find it. Explore the city to find out more secrets.
And not everything was so simple in this botanical garden, because there was a secret passage here.
Construction helmet and a screwdriver. Great. This is exactly what I need. Most of all, I don't want to meet any monsters.
But the monsters were the whole secret. At that time, I didn't know yet, but in fact, a huge predator lives in the city. Even a kraken doesn't stand next to it. 72nd day, I decided to take a short break from the city and work on my liner a little.
Well guys, it's time to make our magnificent farm on our liner. I've never actually done it before in my life. I think it'll be interesting. Just think, my own wheat farm on a liner. Let's plow the ground to the end. We already have water and we can start planting seeds. Super cool. And I also had an idea. Why not make a watermelon farm? Let's place the water, plow the dirt, and plant our seeds. Awesome.
There were a huge number of plants for my own liner, a house on the water. I even managed to work a little on the floor, and I even grew my first tree on the liner. You can suggest in the comments what I should do to our ship, and I will implement the best ideas in the next series. On the 73rd day, I went back to explore the underwater city. My task was to learn more about the time machine and how it can be used. Well, and of course, to find cool loot and not meet all sorts of huge scary monsters.
So friends, we have such a building in some kind of shell. To be honest, I don't know what awaits us here, but today we're gonna explore it. Well, what does we mean? I want to do that, and you don't mind. Just think how deep we are underwater. Okay, there are lots of empty floors, but there are also floors that are full, like this one. Okay, now let's try to get inside. The most important thing is that there is no water here. We'll have to build to there.
Once inside, I began to explore the boxes and found another clue to the same time machine. Perhaps there will be a component for the time machine and the coordinates. So yes, remember that we have a time machine in that building and we need to find some components for it. And here are the coordinates where I hope one of them will be. If we can collect all the components, then perhaps we can travel through time. But honestly, I don't know because they didn't tell me anything, just as they didn't tell you. We are just guests in this world, trying to explore it and understand what my team came up with this time. So let's go explore the next building. I hope that we won't meet any tough monsters here because the Kraken was enough for me. To be honest, I don't really want to meet anyone else here. It's still difficult. You see how the map is made. Many floors are actually empty and you have to look and try to find floors that are full, possibly storing useful information. And they urgently need more night vision potions. Oop. That's it.
Look, in this building the last 2 floors can also be looted. Let's land on the so-called roof. Done. Let's go down. Okay, there are no monsters. This is already pleasing. Okay, there's another node and something that looks like a hammer. With the help of the time machine, you can deal with this infection. I would still like to know how to fix it though. That's exactly what I'm thinking. In general, friends, I think in the next episode we'll be able to fix this time machine.
This episode comes to an end. Thanks for watching, friends. See you next time on a new episode. Bye!